Good afternoon, everyone. I hope that everybody had a great Thanksgiving. My family and I really had a good Thanksgiving. And I am just back today with another piece of advice for my baby boomers. And I hope that you are finding these videos informational. I hope you are thinking about some things that you haven't thought about before. When it comes to things that you would want for yourself, things that you would want to happen to you in case you are unable to make some decisions on your own. Like I said before, discuss these issues and some of these concerns with your family members. If you don't have family, can think of maybe your best friend. Discuss some things with her. Let her know what your wishes are what you want your wishes to be. But today we're going to talk about a couple of pieces of binding information that we can use and we can have drawn up at the attorney's office that can make some of that decision making a little bit better. So first we're going to talk about a POA, or a power of attorney. And a POA is a legal documentation that gives someone the authority to act on your behalf. All right? There are two components to that POA. You have a medical power of attorney and you have a financial power of attorney. The medical power of attorney is a legal documentation that gives someone the leeway to make the medical decisions for you in case you cannot. It is a legal document that is drawn up by the attorney's office. The attorney keeps a copy. The person that you want to make the decisions keep a copy. You keep a copy. In case you're in the hospital, you take that medical POA to the hospital with you. That person can sign documentation. They can say these were her wishes. This is what she wanted. She did not want this. She did not want that. So it is a legal binding documentation. The second type of POA is a financial power of attorney. And it is a legal document that gives someone the authority to manage another person's financial assets. Now, most of the time, if you are incapacitated with this this financial POA, that person may be able to go to the bank for you, may be able to make withdrawals for you, make deposits for you. They are acting on your behalf. Again, everybody has to have a copy. The bank, you, the person that you have made your financial POA, is a legal documentation by the attorney's office. I have seen in two cases where one person may be the medical power of attorney, one person may be the financial power of attorney. You may have one person that's both. It's all in your decision. It's based on who you trust. But those are legal documents that is needed, especially if you are by yourself and you don't have a significant other, or if you don't have family members, or you may have family members that you just don't trust. Then whoever you want to designate as your POA, that's your decision, okay? And then we have something that's called a living will. A living will is a legal document that states your preference, your preference for medical care in case you are unable to make medical decisions for yourself. It is called a living will because you're still alive. All right. Now, we know the other type of wills that people have that's discussed after they transition. This is not that. This is why you are alive. If you go in for a medical procedure, they may ask you, do you have a living will? And it's like I said, a legal document that's drawn up to state your preference of what you want to happen to yourself, just in case. And then there's another component to that that's called an advance directive. And it is a legal document that states your wishes for medical care in case you are unable to communicate with the physicians. You go in the hospital, you have a procedure that's supposed to be simple, breezy, easy, but then something happens and complications occur. They can look at your advance directive to see whether you want A, B, C, D. You may not want that, but if you have that advance directive on file, they can take a look at that and say, well, she didn't want this, she didn't want that. Let's take her off of this, let's take her off of that. And then that also relieves the pressure of your family or your friends trying to make that decisions for you because your wishes are known on this legal document. It's the holidays. No one wants to think about that, but these are things no matter how old you are, we need to think about. Now, I know my mother's wishes. I'm her next of kin. She knows my wishes. She's my next of kin. So I can make those decisions for her. Yes, a POA, a medical POA, an advance directive, a living will would be better to have. But by me being her next of kin and she being mine, we can make those decisions for ourselves. But it takes that pressure off of your loved ones if you have a legal document saying, I don't want this. I don't want to be put on a respirator because somebody's going to have to take me off a respirator. And that person may not be able to do that. All right. Another thing, and I've seen this a couple of times. Family member, patient come in. Patient's been living with somebody, with a girlfriend or a boyfriend. Common law is not legal. It has to be legally binding. That person cannot make decisions for you because you don't have that contract. And what is that contract? That contract is that marriage license. When that occurs, that if you're living with somebody's living with you, you guys been together for 20 years. Yes, that's my common law wife. That's my common law husband. Get you a POA. Get you a medical POA. Get you a financial POA. Because if something happens and that person comes into the emergency room, they are not going to look at you because you have no legal authority when it comes to decision making for that person. They're going to ask for the next of kin. The next of kin is going to be a son, a daughter, a mother, a father, a brother, or a sister. That's just how the system works. Get your paperwork drawn up. Get your paperwork drawn up. It will release a lot of tension. It will release a lot of stress. It will cut down on the arguments. You can tell somebody all day long what you want, but if you two are not married with that binding contract, it's not going to matter. You cannot make a medical decision for them. You don't have to take my word for it. I'm just giving my opinion. You can look it up. You can Google it. You can look it up on the internet. You cannot make medical decisions for somebody that you are not married to. So please, 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 please get that documentation drawn up. Because if you've been with somebody for 20 years and you guys are living together, pretty sure you guys love each other. But it needs to be in writing. It needs to be, maybe notarized. Write your wishes out. Get it notarized. Get your two people that are not family members that are with you when you can get it notarized. Maybe it can act as a legal document. But what's best is actually going to an attorney's office and getting that documentation done so there won't be any questions, no ifs, ands, or buts. Okay? All right. Now, that's what I wanted to discuss today. Just some legal documentation that we all need to have, we all need to think about. If you have any questions, thoughts, or concerns, please leave them on the comments below. Please like and subscribe to my channel. And next time we will have another discussion on what our baby boomers and our seniors need to discuss and need to talk about. Everybody have a great day, and I'll see you next time. All right. Bye-bye.